Shade in the desert might be one of the most important things. Well, maybe next to water, but how about shade and water? That's up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and we're coming to you here in June. Now if you guys have been following us along, you know that we have over 180 fruiting trees, vines, and shrubs, as well as livestock here on the Sonoran Desert Farm. Now we've been here for just over 5 years, and we spent most of our time, in fact almost all of it, on the front half of our 6-acre property. Well, we're finally moving into the back half of that 6 acres because we've got some special things that we're going to be doing back there here in the desert. But in order to do that, we needed to get some shade back here. For the first time, some permanent shade on the farm since we moved here. So I do want to preface, this is not a how-to video. So if that's what you're here for, sorry, it's not. We'll give you some ideas of what can be done, but it won't be a step-by-step, really. So just wanted to say that first. Now, as far as this area, we're on the back half of our farm. You guys know that we have a large pile of wood chips here, so in order to get this building here, that had to go. Now we've used Blue Mountain Welding before. They actually did the extension on our outbuilding and they've taken on this project. Now this started in January of this year. We're in June, so we're about 6 months into this project. We're not quite done, but we're close enough. So now we have shade. Well, we're not done yet. We have livestock that's in here, so we want to make some permanent infrastructure. One of the types of livestock we will have will be our market pigs. As you guys know, they're very hard on ground, so we wanted to have a way to get them up off the ground and into the shade. Also have an area where they're not constantly digging around their feed, which has been a problem for us. So we decided we're gonna have a breezeway down the middle of this. We'll show you that in a minute. And behind me here, you'll see all of the pins that we've got for our pigs. Now, the concrete that we had put in, we did have it reinforced, and we also had them angle this down so that we can wash off this area, because obviously we're gonna get, you know, pig poop and pee and all kinds of stuff. We wanna be able to spray that off. and have it not go back against us and into the breezeway here. So we've got it angled down, and we had them finish it with a coarse broom. That way when it's wet, it's not gonna be slippery for the pigs. Eventually we'll have misters across the top here to keep them nice and cool without having the need for a wallow. So we use a bit less water. After the concrete, that's when the stalls began the installation. Now you'll see behind me here how we have these designed. I want to show you here really close as far as what these look like and kind of how everything functions. So you're actually in one of our pig pens. I wanted to show you how the latches function. They're pretty cool. We have this so that it opens to the inside nice and flat. Just like that. And again, nice and strong, so even a full-size pig pushing up against this, they're not gonna open this thing. We're gonna have goats in this area as well. When they're kidding or we have pigs farrowing, we wanna make sure we have lights so we can be out here in the middle of the night. That's already happened to us this year. So we will be coming back with lights that are not here yet, but we needed electricity. Now, one of the things we did when we were installing the irrigation 5 years ago now, we did add a gray conduit, an electrical conduit in the ground with all of that irrigation. And luckily we did, because we were able to get electric all the way to the pole barn. So last but not least, you have to have water. So we were able to tap into our main line that we have that goes almost completely around the farm, about 50 feet off of the pole barn. We were able to extend that water out here. George, he's been our irrigation guy ever since we moved to Whitman. So for the last 10 years, he came through for us again and came out and got that all connected. So we have permanent water here on both sides of the pole barn. So a couple things we had to come back and do. We finished today. We have a ramp at the end of the pole barn. We'll show you that here in just a minute, and a couple of ramps into some of the areas for the goats. One last thing we have left to do, there's going to be an eyebrow on the west side. We need that to make sure all of our animals have shade on the west side of the pole barn here, and we will be running some additional water for our goats. So you guys will see that here in the future. Now, what I'd like to do is kind of give you a quick once around to take a look at some of the pole barn and how it looks finished. So now we're here in the breezeway. We created this so that we have pins on either side. We have openings into each of the pins from inside the breezeway. We also have openings on the outside because we will be extending this whole area out into the sun with regular cattle panel and pig panel. More on that later. What I wanted to show you though, we're gonna have this loading area here, especially for our pigs. You know, we raise anywhere from 15 to 20 pigs every year for folks, so we wanna be able to load them. Because of that, we wanted to have something permanent here in the breezeway to make sure we're only dealing with this half of the area. So the guys with Blue Mountain still have to come back and install the latch here, so we'll have a nice thick latch, but this is gonna allow us to have pigs in this area and basically funnel them into or out of the pens on this side. So nice and secure here. They can push up against it all they want. They won't be able to open this, and we can make sure we get them loaded without any problems. Total size is 40 foot by 60 foot, so 40 foot deep, 60 feet long. We did leave the end of it unfinished so that we can add additional sections if we decide we want to add additional animals and have more space back here. So we can do that and continue to expand on the west side. We have 4 corrals on this side, 2 larger pens for different sets of our market pigs, and then we have 2 smaller sections on the concrete side for our pigs that we want to farrow, our coonies as it stands today. On the south side, we have 3 equal-sized pens that are for our goats and eventually sheep that we plan on adding here this fall. We have those on the south side on purpose because those will lead out into our dry pasture. So you guys will see that here as we continue to move forward. We will be adding some additional pens out in the open that will extend the area that we have for the animals here. We'll be doing that on both sides for both the pigs and the goats. So a couple other expansions that we still have planned. Well, number 1, we did run 2 separate circuits for electrical. We'll have electrical outlets that we're gonna be adding throughout the barn here, and then we will be doing lights above. So we do have flowing water back here. We did do a few stub outs so that we can run it over onto this side where the pigs are. We're gonna definitely wanna have a misting system of some sort on this side of the barn. And then we also wanna make sure that we have permanent water in each of these areas here that we can utilize without having to constantly refill buckets and things like that. We could not have done this without some professionals. Blue Mountain Welding, guys, again, thank you so much. They're our primary builders here, did all of the welding and construction here. Thank you so much, guys. Mark, our neighbor, did all the concrete, so thank you for that. And we had Jake with Redbird Electric. He's moving up north, but he's been our electrician, did a fantastic job getting electric back here to the pole barn. And of course, George, he is our irrigation and water expert. He's the owner of Sprinkler Dude. Again, he is a fantastic resource for us here in Arizona. Not only for this, you guys know, he knows how to do irrigation to fruit trees and did this entire design. So just wanna thank you guys again for this wonderful pole barn. Now, we need to get some animals in here. So just wanna thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this Sonoran desert farm and would love to see on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go in the comments section down below. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That is a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just wanna thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you.
You didn't have that camera in here when I was doing all the work. That's good timing. Typical government job, I'm leaning on a pole while he's working.
Yeah, well, usually there'd be what, 2 or 3 people watching?
Yeah.
1 person working?
Yeah. Here they come. Here they come. Supervisors are on their way.
Wonder why the heck we're not home yet.
Uh-huh.